He didn't. I guess that master didn't want you to worry. That's why he told you that there was a cure. I never heard once that it could be cured.
Yuta, believe me, I won't let you die here.
月圆风般吹散沉香，江南气烟上，抓一味当归入药汤。
Suluhisho ni mwanamke atoke kwa nyumba.
Shachelewa antipili, manake tiketi ankita mizizi.
Na of late mke wangu umekuwa na hizi homa za ghafla ghafla. Nini ni mbaya, my dear?
Kwa siku zote mume wangu mimi wanakuambia huna jicho la kati. Huoni mbele kabisa.
Hiyo kuroga hiyo. Wacha nikwambie, nimechoka kuishi na wachawi ndani ya nyumba yangu. So leave my house. Ondoka bwana.
Quiero amarte de una forma diferente, de otro modo.
Sweetheart, wake up, please.
Run him over! Run him over!
I thought the Lucretia had him killed. Oh, sorry, no.
I have to get out of here. I can't let them put me in prison. What happened?
Quiero amarte de una forma diferente, de otro modo, nunca igual al de otra gente.
It's the 30th day of August 2021. It is Monday and you are in time for KBC Prime Edition. Good evening, my name is Mboya.
My name is Museo. Thank you for joining us for a comprehensive bulletin of all these events that have been happening here in Kenya and around the world. And that includes business news and sports. And tonight we do it differently. Cynthia Nyamai is on standby. Cynthia.
Thank you, Purity. Indeed, I just came back from the EAC just last week, and we do have an exclusive interview for you from the EAC Judge President. Now, did you know that private citizens can have their cases listened to in the court? That and much more details, including a twist about a Kenyan who has taken the Deputy President to the court in the EAC. That story coming up shortly.
And you don't want to miss all that. But first things first, tonight's highlights.
Tuliona nyumba imeanza kuteremuka, tukaona mwishi mwingi, alafu hiyo nyumba ikaanguka.
Trapped in the rubble. Five-story building under construction collapses in Gashia, Kiambu County with a known number of people missing. A
About 100,000 people by the time we began the second dose have not received their second dose. And what we'll be doing is through the chanjo system, we are going to be getting alerts on anybody who has defaulted, and we are going to work with community health workers to reach to those that are going to be defaulting.
Second jab defaulters. Government launches campaign to trace thousands who have not gone for their second dose of COVID-19 vaccine.
She is an exemplar of what we in the Commonwealth hold.
Will it be Monica Juma? President Uhuru Kenyatta nominates the Defense Cabinet Secretary for the top Commonwealth position.
Many thanks indeed for making time to be with us.
At KBC Channel 1 News, at Purity_Museo, at Mboya24, the hashtag to use tonight is Prime Edition. Susan Thuku is our sign language interpreter tonight.
And let's begin on a rather sad note. Several people are feared trapped after a 5-story building under construction collapsed in Gashie, Kiambu County. Several workers managed to escape from the rubble following the 3 p.m. incident. It is not clear the exact number of people trapped in the debris. Kiambu Police Boss Ali Nuno said that a rescue mission is ongoing and no death has so far been reported.
On Monday afternoon, this 5-story building under construction in Gashie, Kiambu County, collapsed, killing one person, with some said to have been trapped in the debris. The 9 who were rescued from the rubble were rushed to Kihara Level 4 Hospital with injuries and are said to be in stable condition. The building is said to have caved in at around 2 p.m. when the workers were putting up a slab for the 6th floor.
Katika masaa kama ya saa 8:30 hivi mchana ndio tuliona nyumba imeanza kuteremuka, tukaona moshi mwingi, alafu hiyo nyumba ikaanguka. Nikatoka nje nikaanza kutafuta vile nitaanza kusaidia. Nikapiga simu, nikapigia MCA wetu, nikapigia makasi na watu wote na chief walitusaidia kwa sababu walituma gari Savaya kuja kutusaidia.
According to witnesses, some of those trapped in the building were painters and welders working on the windows of the building. Witnesses described the collapsed building as having been hastily constructed.
Kwa ghorofa ya 3, watu wa hii kijiji walijitokeza na wakaona hiyo nyumba imeinama kidogo, na wakaanza kuteta, wakaanza kusema hii nyumba imeinama na kwa nini hii nyumba imeinama. Lakini mbali hata mafundi walikuwa hapo, fundi akatolewa, yule alikuwa hapo na akaletwa mwingine. Huyo mwingine mwenye aliletwa akasema ataendelea na hii nyumba na atailainisha. Lakini sasa ikifika ghorofa ya 5 ndio hizo nyumba imebomoka, lakini ilikuwa na taswishi kutoka kitambo.
A search and rescue mission is still underway, and personnel from the National Disaster Management Unit and the National Construction Authority are at the scene to assess what could have caused the building to tumble down. Ben Chumba, Prime Edition.
And to the country's COVID-19 update, Kenya has recorded another 346 COVID-19 cases out of 3,553 samples screened in the last 24 hours. The new figures represent a positivity rate of 9.7%. In the latest data released by the Minister of Health, 10 more deaths have been recorded, all of them from late audits conducted on diverse dates in August 2021. This places the total number of fatalities at 4,720. Globally, over 216 million cases have been reported, with the number of fatalities standing at slightly over 4.5 million. This is according to data from Johns Hopkins University. And still on COVID-19 in the country and vaccination drive, the government is now tracing some 100,000 Kenyans who are yet to receive the second dose of their vaccine. Through the chanjo system, the Minister of Health has identified the defaulters who have continuously ignored calls to go for the second jab. Health experts are warning that failure to receive a complete dose poses serious health risks. Meanwhile, the Minister of Health has threatened to deregister all health facilities selling government-procured vaccines. So far, close to 800,000 people have been fully vaccinated against the deadly COVID-19 disease, with a total of 2.8 million doses administered. The Minister of Health has, however, identified several defaulters yet to receive their second dose, despite receiving alerts to do so.
About 100,000 people by the time we began the second dose have not received their second dose. And what we'll be doing is through the chanjo system, we are going to be getting alerts on anybody who has defaulted, and we are going to work with community health workers to reach to those that are going to be defaulting.
The Minister of Health has reported an increase in demand for inoculation against the novel coronavirus among Kenyans amid rising infection cases.
Currently, our problem is not people who are refusing or don't want to take vaccines. Our problem is having sufficient vaccines for those who are willing. You can see queues of people all over the country who are looking for vaccines.
Health Cabinet Secretary Mutahi Kagwe said that Kenya is mulling over the approval of several types of COVID-19 vaccines, even as he warned against the sale of COVID-19 vaccines.
Any facility that will not account for doses issued will not be issued with any more vaccine doses and will be delisted. At the same time, any private facility that will be involved in any impropriety will be deregistered with immediate effect.
Dr. Willis Hakwale, the chairman of the COVID-19 Task Force for Vaccine Deployment, said that the government has invested in robust infrastructure and manpower to ensure the vaccination exercise does not stall amid a huge turnout by the public.
We are increasing our vaccination posts gradually from 800 to 3,000 towards the end of the year. That would therefore mean people can easily access vaccines in facilities close to them.
It has come to our notice that some politicians have begun to politicize the vaccination process for their own political gains. This is not only immoral, but unacceptable and very disturbing. This has the potential of endangering the lives of our people and the public in general.
And that's the way it was on the health front. Let's shift gears now. Kenya has nominated Defense Cabinet Secretary Monica Juma to be the 7th Secretary General to the Commonwealth. Making the announcement, President Uhuru Kenyatta said Juma's exemplary service as one of Kenya's top diplomats establishes her as a diplomat par excellence. The nomination of Monica Juma signals the beginning of intense lobbying, which is expected to culminate into a vote next year. The Commonwealth is a political association of 54 member states, almost all of which are former territories of the British Empire.
Ambassador Dr. Juma has an indisputable track record of strategic leadership, management, representation, and knowledge of government, regional, national, and multilateral relations. She is also well skilled in international development, security, and also humanitarian issues. And she is an exemplar of what we in the Commonwealth hold. I have no doubt that Ambassador Monica Juma will be a strong consensus candidate who will deliver an effective secretariat driven by member state priorities. She will help bolster unity amongst Commonwealth family and also enhance innovative partnerships that optimize the impact of our organization. We as Kenya seek the support and endorsement of her candidature from the Commonwealth fraternity. I thank you.
And Kenya missed opportunity to have Parliament pass the 2/3 gender role dampened Monday celebrations to mark the first 10 years of the National Gender and Equality Commission. Officiating at the event, Public Service Cabinet Secretary Professor Margaret Kobia said all is not lost, calling on Commission not to relent but work towards ensuring the 13th Parliament is gender compliant. And Timothy Kipnusu attended the event and filed the following report.
National Gender and Equality Commission on Monday celebrated 10 years since its inception. It is here that the Commission Chair, Dr. Joyce Mutinda, urged the national government to allocate more funds to enable them propel their agenda to all the 47 counties.
The demand is overwhelming, while our reach is inadequate. I think you heard our Vice Chair talk about 5 regional offices. The Constitution envisages we should be in every county.
Dr. Mutinda has, however, revealed that the Commission has achieved much impetus in matters related to gender-based violence. She also said the Commission has so far done 80 audits in the transport sector, the status of child care, the state of the boy child, and that of the judiciary, even as she called for other government entities to subject themselves to the audit queries to confirm gender compliance.
We also did guidelines on mainstreaming of issues of youth, PWD, women in annual public performance contract processes.
Public Service Cabinet Secretary Professor Margaret Kobia, who was the chief guest, expressed frustration over Parliament's failure to pass the 2/3 gender rule.
I think this is really what broke kind of new horizon on how we can work around equality, not just for gender equality, also equity. We can't keep on repeating the same thing that we have done before, but all we want to keep our eyes on the ball, that the next Parliament can be compliant.
The CS, however, said her ministry has established and implemented policies to address any inequalities. Devolution CS Eugene Omalo, in the meantime, has called on the county governments to unmask what referred to entrenched marginalization in counties.
This is critical because for a long time as a country, we have been blaming Session Paper number 10 of 1965 for entrenching marginalization. But with the devolution policy, we were able to bring about a paradigm shift that has seen the end of marginalization.
The theme of this year's celebration is promoting gender equality and freedom from discrimination for special interest groups. Even as the National Gender and Equality Commission marks 10 years since its inception, the enormous and daunting task that awaits the Commission is to safeguard and protect the rights of the special interest groups like youth, women, minorities, marginalized, as well as people living with disabilities, in a move that will see their rights are being not curtailed in this country. Timothy Kipnusu for Prime Edition, Nairobi.
Let's now move into education matters. And Education Cabinet Secretary Professor George Mboya has challenged those opposing implementation of the competency-based curricula to offer a better syllabus, saying that the current model has proved to be the best. Professor Mboya, who was in Baringo County for the groundbreaking ceremony of reconstruction of Salabini Primary School, says plans are at an advanced stage to establish junior secondary schools right across the country. Here's that report.
Salabani Primary School in Baringo County was submerged following the swelling of Lake Baringo. Education Cabinet Secretary Professor George Mboya on Monday graced the groundbreaking ceremony for the reconstruction works. It is here that he told of critics of the competency-based curriculum.
So I want to reassure the parents that you don't listen to the naysayers, because just as we are on this side of the divide, the poor also have very intelligent children, and they will be able to navigate CBC with what they have.
Professor Mboya pledging to personally oversee the implementation by going to schools across the country, even as he planned to establish junior secondary schools.
As I talk to you now, we are identifying schools which will domicile the junior secondary school at the end of grade 6.
The Education Cabinet Secretary was accompanied by his Labour and Social Protection counterpart Simon Chelugui, who pledged government support for vulnerable children.
In your ministry, we all focus on child protection and
rescuing that child and enabling that child, giving them opportunities, empowering them through education to create the future of this country.
Baringo South Member of Parliament Charles Kamuren urged the government to reopen 7 schools which were submerged, affecting the 100% academic transition.
Na hiyo mashule tulikuwa tumefunga mashule 9. Tumejaribu saa hii kufungua, imepaki hiyo ile umesikia ukiambiwa kwa sababu ya hii mambo ya insecurity.
The reconstruction of Salabani Primary School is being undertaken by a local non-governmental organization, Child Fund Kenya, at a cost of 30 million shillings.
And a section of residents from Nairobi and Kiambu counties have been forced to dig deeper into their pockets to buy water for their households as they contend with water rationing. The residents who have been hit by acute water shortage accuse the vendors of taking advantage of the dry taps to reap much from water business. The development coming as the Council of Governors calls for an urgent review of the Water Act 2016 to allow county governments receive payments of water bills. Ben Chumba reports.
In the recent days, majority of residents of Nairobi and its environs have been hit by the scarcity of water, a situation which is posing a great challenge to many dwellers.
The commodity is very, very expensive for us. For instance, for about 22 units of water, we pay about 1,400 shillings to the water company.
Many residents who have been forced to dig deeper into their pockets to buy water accuse the water companies of not observing the rationing schedule, claiming some areas have not received water for 2 months.
Tunauzaga kulingana na kwenye umepeleka. Kama ni kwa gorofa unauzaga 30 bob. Kasi ni bali.
Water boozers doing rounds across several estates in Nairobi and its environs as vendors make a killing from the dry taps.
Our own landlords again hike the same price, more either double or something close to that, because we pay around 120 per unit used in a household.
Even as the government calls on Kenyans to adhere to the laid down protocols on COVID-19, the situation is challenging for many residents who are calling on concerned authorities to intervene and remedy the situation.
Being a devolved function, the function should be run by the county government. The only problem is that the national government continues holding the same function, yet it is constitutionally a devolved function.
To be an exercise in futility if we connect water and people cannot afford water. We know very well that even in Nairobi, people have been paying a lot on water. So I think it's a discussion that we need to hold.
The water shortage brings to the fore unresolved water challenges facing Nairobi residents amid claims of water cartels controlling the supply of the precious commodity in the capital city. This even as Council of Governors calls for an urgent review of the Water Act 2016 to allow county governments receive payments of water bills. In a memorandum to the Ministry of Water and Sanitation, the Council of Governors argues that the functions assigned to various institutions established under the Water Act 2016 should be reviewed as they do not respect the functional and institutional integrity of the county governments in the regulation of water sector. However, in what appears to be a disagreement over the water-related functions, the Ministry of Water and Sanitation maintains that the water resources are under the national government and not the county government. Ben Chumba, Prime Edition.
Very well, a good place to take a short break right here on KBC Prime Edition.
Right, keep tweeting at KBC Channel 1 News at Mboya24 at Purity_Museo. The hashtag is Prime Edition.
Stay with us.
Ushindi mnaotetea ni kutokana na vita mlivyokwenda kupigana. Nasema vita kwa sababu labda nyinyi hamuoni wakati mnacheza, lakini mimi nikiangalia, sababu mimi napenda sana kuangalia mpira wakati unaletwa katika televisheni, naangalia sana. Na mimi wakati naangalia, mimi napiga
To get Control Your Thinking as your skiza tune, dial *811*961#.
Did you know that you have complete control over everything that surrounds you? Yes. Fully control over all that comes out of the seas, the earth, and the universe. That control is your thinking. Good thoughts bear good fruits, but bad thoughts will always bear bad fruits. Control your thinking.
To get Control Your Thinking as your skiza tune, dial *811*961#. *811*961#.
Suluhisho ni mwanamke atoke kwa nyumba. Chachelewa antipili, manake tiketi ankita mizizi.
Na of late mke wangu umekuwa na hizi homa za ghafla. Nini ni mbaya, my dear?
Kwa siku zote mume wangu mimi wanakuambia huna jicho la kati. Huoni mbele kabisa.
Hiyo kuroga hiyo. Wacha nikwambie, nimechoka kuishi na wachawi ndani ya nyumba yangu. So leave my house. Ondoka bwana.
The excitement of the Olympic Games doesn't just stop there, as the biggest para-sports event, the 2020 Paralympic Games, gets underway from the 24th of August to the 5th of September in Tokyo, Japan. So, get ready to be inspired by these sportsmen and women with outstanding abilities, and look out for Team Kenya too in their quest for glory by watching all the highlights daily on KBC Channel 1, your true sports partner.
You're watching Prime Edition this Monday night. Thank you so much for staying with us.
Moving on, the National Assembly will convene a special sitting Wednesday, and top on the agenda will be to approve the nominees to the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission. The legislators will also receive the report of the Education Committee on persons nominated to serve at the Teachers Service Commission. Suleiman Yeri reports.
The National Assembly will reconvene on Wednesday morning to receive and consider a report of the Justice and Legal Affairs Committee on the vetting of 4 IEBC commission whose names were forwarded by President Uhuru Kenyatta. The committee last week vetted Juliana Cherera, Francis Wanderi, Irene Masit, and Justus Nyagaya to serve at IEBC.
People want to be listened to. And if you don't listen to people will not listen to you.
Well, the Departmental Committee on Education and Research, having considered the nominees of the Teachers Service Commission (TSC), will also present a report for the approval of Dr. Nicodemus Ojuna Anyang, Christine Kahindi, Sharon Jelangat Kisire, Ansita Wafuho, and Selesa Adano Abudo. Meanwhile, Makueni Governor Kivutha Kibwana has defected from Wiper Party and rejoined Muungano Party. Kibwana now says he will seek the country's presidency on the Muungano Party ticket, adding that he will soon officially launch his presidential bid.
2022 atakuwa katika debe na anaenda katika debe mpaka mwisho. Si ati tunataka tusimame tuseme kwamba tunajaribu, hapana.
Suleiman Yeri, Prime Edition.
And a man has been arraigned in court and charged with attempting to extort 100,000 shillings from Senate Speaker Kenneth Lusaka. Victor Mayanja alias Joseph Kinothia appeared before Chief Magistrate Lawrence Mugambi, where he denied 3 corruption charges of impersonating an investigator from Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission and attempting to extort by threats. The suspect has been remanded at Industrial Area Remand Prison until September the 6th.
The prosecution is alleging that in March 2014, Victor Mayanja identified himself to the then Bungoma governor as an investigator with the EACC. Mayanja is also accused of attempting to extort 100,000 shillings from Lusaka through quid pro quo. Mayanja, who denied the charges, has been remanded until September 6th. Elsewhere, 2 Tanzanians accused of child trafficking have been released on 500,000 bond. Kuvi Paulo Silva and Sita Yohana were charged with trafficking disabled children for exploitation in Kenya. It is alleged that on diverse dates between the year 2019 and 2021 August, jointly with others not before the court, they transported and harbored a disabled child aged 14 years from Tanzania to Shaurimoyo in Kenya. The prosecution says the accused had intended to exploit and abuse the child's vulnerability.
Well, a new police station manned by newly deployed officers has been opened up in Kianjokoma, that's in Embu County, weeks after the death of the 2 Kianjokoma brothers while in police custody. Elsewhere, the National Assembly Select Committee on National Constituency Development Fund has advised beneficiaries undertaking constructions to consider putting up story buildings in view of land limitations.
Embu North Deputy County Commissioner Jeremiah Tumo assured residents of Kianjokoma that security agencies will continue to work with residents at all times. The sub-county leadership will also facilitate election of new community policing members to work with the Peace Reconciliation Committee on mending the relationship between residents of Kianjokoma and police officers.
We agreed that we must bring a new crop of police officers who are responsive and proactive, and today we have seen the officers that we have brought before you. They are new and they will build good public relations with you, and they will also implement things in consultation with the leadership.
Elsewhere, the National Assembly Select Committee on National Constituency Development Fund has advised beneficiaries to maximize use of land by constructing story buildings. Committee's chairman Wafula Wamunyinyi, who led legislators and inspecting projects in Nyaribari Chache constituency, Kisii County, announced disbursement of 20 million shillings for construction of Ibeno Mission Primary School.
We have asked the board, the CDF board, to support Mheshimiwa Tongi to provide funding so that they build a primary school that's going to match, with the KMTC around. Wasiweke tu ile primary school ya kienyeji tu ile ya chini chini, ikiwezekana where's the CEO? Musaidie Mheshimiwa provide the funding to build a modern tuition block for the primary school, ikiwezekana gorofa.
In Migori County, a 2-month row between the Migori County Assembly and the Office of the Governor has culminated into a workers' strike. This after Governor Okoth Obado allegedly declined to append a signature on the county's budget estimates, forcing members of the county assembly to review the document.
Tuliwaandikia wana county barua ya kwamba kama kuna shida na mshahara ikiwa inachelewa watujulishe. Hawakushughulika, hawakutujibu. Tukawapatia na warning letter ya kuambia ya kwamba salary tusipopata tutaparade. Hawakutujibu. So tuliwapatia 7 days tena, baada ya barua zimeisha hawajatujibu. Leo pia tumekuja hapo, mkiangalia milango za county zile zilikuwa zimefunguliwa, walipona tunaingia wakafunga milango wakakimbia. So it's like tunajiongelesha tuna mtu wa kutujibu.
And West Pokot Governor Professor John Lonyangapuo has faulted security organs over insecurity along the border of West Pokot and Elgeyo Marakwet counties. Professor Lonyangapuo says Saturday's attack where 3 people aboard a motorcycle were gunned down at Chesegon area has caused tension in the area.
We condemn this behavior, and we will not entertain it whatsoever at all. So we want to hear that our people are going to have calm and peace. And I'm addressing the people of West Pokot who are listening to me now. Please don't take law into your hands. Kindly, I request and I ask you as your leader, let the county commissioner who is here and his team pick our grievances and give us in the shortest time possible after he has talked to his bosses what's going to be done next.
And it is a sigh of relief for 214 students whose parents are fisherfolk along Lake Victoria in Bunyala and Samia sub-counties in Busia County after the Busia County Beach Management Unit Network offered them scholarships worth 3 million shillings.
Kumekuwa na changamoto katika jamii ya wavuvi. Changamoto ya kwanza imekuwa upande wa masomo. Ndivyo sisi kama wasimamizi wa hizi beaches katika Busia County tuliona kwamba ni bora, ni vyema tuanzishe mambo ya Busia County BMU Network Scholarship Program.
Finally, a 63-year-old granny from Esharirie, Mbaruk in Gilgil sub-county, Nakuru, is a happy woman after her 2 neighbors who live in the United States gifted her with a new house. For 9 years, Lucy, Mary, Mudhoni and her son have lived in Squela, but things appear to have finally changed for the better.
Ninafurahia Mungu kwa wenye wamenionea huruma wakanijengea. Vile nilikuwa na shida, nyumba yangu ilikuwa inaanguka, lakini Mungu akatuma watu wake wakakuja wakanijengea.
Now, the East African Court of Justice hears cases on violations of the rule of law, one of the fundamental and operational principles set out in the East African Community Treaty established in 1999 and located in Arusha, Tanzania. The court hears cases from Burundi, Kenya, Rwanda, Uganda and Tanzania. But did you know the court also adjudicates matters of private citizens from the ESC? Cynthia Nyamai spoke to the ESCJ President Justice Nestor Kayobera, and here is that exclusive interview.
Thank you, Judge President, for joining us today. What is the main role of the East African Court of Justice?
Thank you very much for the question. Article 23, Sub-Article 1 of the treaty provides that the court should be the judicial body of the community, which is in charge of interpretation, application, but also observance of the treaty. So, which means that the role of the court is to interpret the treaty, to make sure that whatever challenge or difficulty surrounding the interpretation of the treaty, it is a demand of this court to interpret it.
So you have mentioned various organs and also countries. Is it also open for private businesses and individuals? Can they bring their disputes here?
Of course, you remember, for example, the famous Anyango Nyong'o.
Yes.
Yes, Anyango Nyong'o, that was almost the second case from Kenya.
Yes.
After the Karis Matera case from URT. So the people are coming. And it is provided for under Article 30, Article 1 of the treaty.
Yes.
That any person who is a resident of the community, of the partner states, may bring any matter to the court if it thinks there is a violation of the treaty. Not only of the treaty, even if you violate the Kenya Constitution, or you violate the immigration law of Kenya, you may even come here, because if you violate the law of the partner states, you automatically violate the provision of the treaty. So people, individuals are coming, the nation, the citizens are coming, but also these organizations, they are also coming. So it is provided for under the treaty. They are also coming for arbitration or for mediation, because it is also provided for under Article 32 of the treaty. So people are coming, and they have been coming.
So you've just mentioned the Anyang Nyong'o's case, but there is a case also presently here at the courts from Kenya that involves a matter of dispute between the deputy president of Kenya, who wanted to travel and go to Uganda, and other matters arose then. Can you give us details on that case?
There is a case which has been filed very recently, I think 2 weeks ago. There's a case which has been filed here in the First Inside Division recently, surrounding that matter, that trip of the deputy president of Kenya to Uganda, but because it is still on at early age, so I cannot talk too much. But there is a case. There is a case around that one.
Okay.
Yes, there's a case.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I notice you don't want to say much about it because the matter is in court. But who is suing who exactly in this case?
Yes, you know that one. That one, I know it is not a partner says who sues another partner says.
Yes.
It is the people.
Yes.
It is the citizen who are aggrieved of what happened.
Yes.
Between that situation.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the situation.
Yes.
So it is the citizens, whatever country they are coming from, because they may be from Uganda or from Kenya.
Yes.
Even from Burundi, because even the city of Burundi.
Yes.
If he thinks, for example, there is any person from another partner says who's being treated in violation of the treaty, he can sue the case.
Yes.
There are many cases against the government of Burundi which have not been filed here by Burundians, but by Kenyans, by Tanzanians, by one. So and they are received. So even for that one from that case, it is by the citizen.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's still at the early age.
Okay. What are the major challenges?
The major challenges are three. There are three.
Yes.
Of course, in life there are always challenges. But for us, we have three challenges. The first one is budgetary. Yes, the budgetary. Now the court is celebrating its 20th anniversary.
Yes.
In November. So now the court has increased in a number of the staff.
Yes.
Even the judges.
Yes.
Now we have two divisions. We have 5 judges in the first instance. We have 6. We have 6 judges in the first instance. We have 5. So we have increased the number of people, of personnel. But the budget, it has been decreasing.
Yes.
It is strange.
Yes.
But also the matters have increased. So we have almost 300 cases in the court. But the budget has been decreasing.
Yes.
The second one also for the payment of the judges. Now also the matter is also advancing.
Yes.
But also for the independence. So for independence, there is a bill which has been developed actually to give the court the administration and the financial judicial autonomy.
Yes.
So there are 3 challenges, but also they are on the way also of being solved. To me, it is also good.
In November, there's going to be a 20-year celebration of the courts. What are the major achievements that will be celebrated?
Of course, you know 20 years of existence.
Yes.
They are enough years.
Yeah.
So, but the very key, I may cite almost some 5 or 6 or 7.
Yeah.
First of all is the Anyang case, which I said.
Yeah.
That was a very big achievement for the court. During the Anyang case, it was only the first instance division. There was no appeal.
Yes.
There was no appellate. And also that is not having the appellate division.
Yes.
It is a violation of the principle of natural justice.
Yes.
The right of appeal. That's the principle of natural justice. But when Professor Anyang Nyong came here,
yes,
the treaty was amended to bring here the appellate division,
yes,
which was very good because it was at least to abide to the principle of natural justice, to allow the people of East Africa to appeal. So the appellate division was created because of the Anyang Nyong case. But also there was another issue of time limit.
Yes.
Before the Anyang case, there was no time limitation. But now when they amended the treaty, now the treaty was amended. And because before you come here, you must come here within 60 days since the happening of the activity. That's one.
Yes.
The other achievement which we made, very important, is about the Ziwa case, the Margaret Ziwa case. Well, it is a case, but it is an achievement. Why?
Yes.
Now the court has been making declaratory orders. You telling the partner, say, you may not do this, you may not do this.
Yes.
But when they removed in violation of the treaty, the court decided that they must be paid, the Margaret Honorable Ziwa should be paid damages.
Yes.
So now, if you violate the treaty, you also pay the damages. So now the the community paid the damages because of violation of the treaty. So that was another achievement, that you violate the treaty.
Yes.
It is not only declaratory, but also you also pay the damages. Another very important achievement is about the court registries. Now in every partner says we have the sub-registry. So the people of the community now should not come in Arusha to fight their cases. So you are in Nairobi.
Yeah.
If you want to sue, we should not sue only Kenya.
Yes.
If you are in Kenya, you should also sue any other partners.
Yes.
Or the community. You should not come here.
Yeah.
You just go to the sub-registry there.
Yes.
There is an office of the court there. You file your case, and then it is as good as you have filed here.
Yes.
But that's another very good achievement. That is the people.
Yeah.
We brought the court near the people.
Yes.
Which is also very good. We also now filing the case here. It is free.
Yes.
Before it was not free. Now it is free. Why it is free? Because the community, Article 7 of the treaty says that the community is a people-centered, is a market-driven. Because that is the lacuna of that one.
Yes.
It is what made the first community to fall.
Yeah.
So now those are very, very important achievements. But another very important is about e-filing. Now e-filing.
Yes.
So now we are not coming, even when we come here to this court. Now we are not coming with the files.
Yes.
Because now it is e-filing. Then people from the partner said they may file their cases.
Yes.
Online.
Yes.
Which is also very good. But also the other very big achievement is about the case management.
Yes.
And also the recording system. Now, because of the court management, the recording. Now, whatever we do here, we don't write. No, there's a person who is sitting in the chamber there.
Yes.
She's recording.
Yes.
So after we leave here, we all the proceedings we have, which is also good. So you can come here, you go to court here. After the proceedings, you get a copy of all the proceedings. But also the court management now, even during the COVID, we could do our hearing without judges coming here.
Yes.
And even now, we are doing the hybrid sort of hearing. Now the judges are coming here.
Yes.
But the advocates, those who are there. But now we are trying to decide that if the lawyers who may wish may come.
Yes.
But now they have not come.
Yes.
But yesterday we made the executive committee meeting.
Yes.
So that we can allow the lawyers who wish so that they may come because they requested.
Yes.
There are sophisticated cases. For example, the Central Bank of Kenya.
Yes.
Is the Central Bank of Kenya case against the Attorney General of Kenya.
Yes.
Those are very, very, very big cases, complicated ones.
Yes.
Sometimes the lawyers, they are thinking the attorneys, they think that they may come.
Yeah.
And then they argue their cases here in court.
Yes.
But also we see how we can also abide the protocol of COVID.
Yes.
Yes.
A lot of times when there's a dispute between countries, we see that they don't come to court but instead mediate amongst themselves. Is this something that you would recommend?
Of course. The court.
Yes.
Not only the international courts. Sometimes they are not there to resolve disputes.
Yes.
Especially political disputes. Political disputes are not resolved, mostly are not resolved in court.
Yeah.
It is why, because in international law, this is an international court, which is created by the partner states themselves. So, say the court was established in 2001, there is no single case of one partner states who has sued another partner state here.
Yes.
They try to go through the Council of Ministers to avoid the court.
Yes.
And it is proper.
Yes.
To me, it is proper. Even at home, if you see the wife has taken the husband to court.
Yes.
Sometimes things are too much.
Yeah.
And other things may come there.
Yes.
So I think the partner says the governments. They opt to go diplomatically and politically, not to come to court. Because if they come here to us, they never know the decision of the court.
Yes.
But for the politicians, I think they opt not to resolve their matters politically, diplomatically.
Yes.
To me, it is proper.
Yes.
But also, they of course, they use also the council, the summit, the council of ministers.
Yes.
And they've tried.
Yes.
The people who thought, the people who thought. There have been a case between Rwanda and Burundi here in court, but there's no case.
Yes.
They decided to go politically, slowly,
Yes.
and tomorrow after tomorrow, their matters will be solved out of the court.
Yes.
It is proper.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Judge President, for joining us today and just breaking down the duties of the court and even building confidence that this is a court for citizens of the East African community where they can find justice. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, ESCJ President Justice Nestor Kayobera speaking with our very own Cynthia Nyamai.
Absolutely. And Cynthia Nyamai, once again, will be back with the day's business. Stay tuned. Now let's move on, where the government is reducing the low tourism season period to 3 months in a new tourism classification plan due to take effect from next year. According to Tourism Cabinet Secretary Najib Balala, the government is overhauling the national and game park entry fee by basing it on weather patterns. The revised tourism calendar classification will see this low season restricted to the long rain seasons during the months of April, May and June, while the remaining months would be categorized as the high season.
In Kenya, the low tourist season is usually in April and May, while June to September, as well as January to March, are regarded as a peak season. The period between October and December is regarded as a shoulder season.
First of all, remember during COVID, we gave a 50% discount on both domestic and international visitors. That discount has been extended to end of the year. And then we will revert into a new model. A new model of pricing of KWS parks will be now seasonal.
The government is now revising this tourism calendar by restricting the low season to April, June and July, with the rest of the months now classified as tourism high season.
High season ourselves is on the rainy season. So it's not about tour, international or domestic market. If it's raining, you can go to the park.
This comes in the wake of an intense charm offensive to woo domestic tourists, a niche that is currently contributing over 70% of the tourism industry earnings since the COVID-19 travel restrictions.
But the biggest market that we highly appreciate is the domestic market. That has done wonderful, and it has sustained the economy so far.
So far, Kenya has recorded 600,000 tourist arrivals in the first half of the year amid growing uncertainty over the COVID-19 pandemic. Balala also said his ministry has received 4 million shillings under the Tembo naming initiative that allows individuals and corporate entities to have an elephant named after them after contributing to the Wildlife Conservation Kitty.
The money is going to go into the Conservation Trust Fund. This is a new fund we have created. It's going to be having its own board and chair independently, as well as regulations of how it's going to be managed. Because like this fundraising is done specifically for elephants, it will be ring-fenced only for elephants.
The government has identified the domestic market as a niche market to keep the tourism industry afloat. As such, the extension of the 50% discount in park fees. So, it's your time to travel and sample why Kenya is an ideal tourist destination. I'm Regina Manyara reporting for the Prime Edition.
Thank you, Regina, for that report. Now, the Kenya Roads Board is set to disburse 55 billion shillings for maintenance of the country's road network over the next 10 months. The Kenya National Highways Authority will receive the biggest chunk of the funds for rehabilitation of 48,000 kilometers of road. The allocation is way below the 150 billion shillings that the roads agency says it requires annually for maintenance of the road network in the country.
The Kenya Roads Board plans to disburse 55 billion shillings to rehabilitate 48,418 kilometers of roads, which is about 30% of the entire road network in the country. The board says the cash should be disbursed to 4 state agencies, including the Kenya Wildlife Service, to maintain roads in parks and game reserves. Kenya National Highway Authority will receive 26.6 billion shillings and the Kenya Rural Roads Authority getting 14.6 billion shillings for Class C roads. Kenya Urban Roads Authority and the Kenya Wildlife Service have been allocated 6.7 billion shillings and 651 million shillings respectively. The annual public roads program has been prepared based on printed estimates for collections of the Kenya Roads Board Fund amounting to 69 billion shillings, including the Roads Annuity Fund. The board's Director General Rashid Mohammed said, quote, "The annual public roads program has been prepared in close consultation with the roads agencies to ensure government's strategic objective of attaining the Big Four agenda and realization of the Vision 2030 are incorporated in the program." End of quote. The total plan length comprises of various work categories, which include routine maintenance on 25,361 kilometers, periodic maintenance on 916 kilometers, performance-based maintenance contracts on 9,422 kilometers, sport improvement on 7,695 kilometers, and upgrading on 24 kilometers of road across the country. In its 2018-2022 strategic plan, the Kenya Roads Board said it requires 150 billion shillings annually to maintain the country's road network. Benson Rioba reporting for Prime Edition.
Now to agriculture, where the Kenya Tea Development Agency has imported 65,000 metric tons of fertilizer that would be sold to small-scale farmers at a subsidized rate of 2,500 Kenya shillings per bag. KTDA Chairman David Githogo says the 1.5 million bags consignment will be distributed to farmers in the shortest time before the onset of the short rains.
Speaking in Mombasa during an induction workshop for 54 tea factories managers on good corporate governance, KTDA Chairman David Gichoga said there is a need to maximize on available opportunities presented by the subsidized fertilizer to boost production. Gichoga urged farmers not to resell the subsidized fertilizers but use it to increase production.
Reforms is still ongoing, and we are also engaging various stakeholders to ensure that the reform are able, including the implementation of the Act 2020, Tea Act, and we are engaging with the various stakeholders to ensure that these reforms are geared to ensure that the farmers benefit more. We have one court cases that I think there's a consolidated case where we hopefully the case will be able to be concluded so that we are able to move forward and be able to help farmers.
KTDA plans to subsidize the fertilizer to make it affordable to farmers. He said among other issues they discussed with the managers of tea factories is improvement of infrastructure for safe transportation of tea, value addition, more marketing of tea, and sustainable economic activity to improve living standards of farmers.
We are proposing, and as part of the pillar that we have, we want to ensure that also we encourage the diversification. And due to our competitive advantage, we're able to encourage farmers to participate in other economic activities, including avocados, tree fruit farmings, cow keeping, all form of livestock, to ensure that they're able to get more stream of income to be able to move forward. So we are urging and requesting for patience as we continue. We will be able to do the reforms that we are going.
For Prime Edition from Mombasa County, I'm Michael Mondiga.
Well, that's it from the business desk. Up next, sports with Karen.
Yes, it's now time for us to take a look at what's making headlines in the world of sports. My name is Karen Kibet. Now, Kenya today bagged her first medal at the ongoing Tokyo Paralympic Games after Nancy Chelangat won a bronze medal in the women's 1500-meter T11 category at the Olympic Stadium. Chelangat clocked 4 minutes 45.58 seconds to finish third behind Rodriguez Saavedra of Mexico and Kotzi Luizan of South Africa, who won gold and silver respectively.
Kenya's elusive medal at this year's Paralympic Games here in Tokyo, Japan, finally presented itself this morning courtesy of Nancy Chelagat Koech in the 1500 meters T11 final. Nancy, a silver medalist at the Rio Paralympic Games, guided by his elder brother Geoffrey Kiplagat, fought hard to deliver a bronze medal for Kenya in a race which saw Mexican athlete Monica Olivia Saavedra smashing the world record in a time of 4 minutes 37.40 seconds. Nancy, who was encouraged by his brother Geoffrey, registered her season's best time of 4 minutes 45.58 seconds.
Nilijaribu kabisa. Ya mwisho, bratangu akaniambia hii ni ya mwisho jela. Kick. Na nikaki. Nikafika 200, akaniambia umefika 200. Ngangania jela, karibu tushika hawa, twende. Nikaenda.
Ingawaje tulikuwa tumeluso, but nikaongelesha yeye, so akatia bidii. Nikamwambia bado 400 meters, tukafika 300, 200 ndio akajikakamua vizuri, akaweka bidii yake. So kuna mwingine tulikuwa tunafuata, nikamwambia mwenye tunafuata si mbali, na ingawaje yeye alikuwa mbali, lakini nilikuwa naambia njoo aweke bidii.
Kenya's ambassador here in Japan, Her Excellency Tabu Irina, immediately made a call to congratulate Nancy for the achievement.
Yes.
Hongera sana.
Thank you. Kongoi kabisa.
I'm so excited for you.
Thank you.
There was drama in the men's 1500 meter T11 heats, which witnessed Kenyan athlete Eric Kiptosang and his guide David Korir being brought down by Brazilian athlete Agripino dos Santos to finish last in the heat. The Kenyan officials, led by the president of KNPC Agnes Olwoch and Secretary General Elijah Aliero, appealed immediately and Eric Sang was reinstated to advance to tomorrow's finals, while the Brazilian disqualified under Rule 18.2b, which prohibits obstruction in a race. KNPC Secretary General Elijah Aliero explains on the appeal.
Kwa sasa tumefanya appeal na yule mchezaji wetu amekubalika kwamba kesho ataweza kuingia katika finali. Maana walipocheza ile video wakakubaliana na sisi kwamba ni kweli alifanya kusukumwa.
Eric Sang and his guide runner David Korir speaks about their encounter.
You are well prepared. We are ready to fight for it. Yeah. That's what I can promise you. With my athlete, I promise you we are well prepared.
Niko na endurance ya kutosha. Niko na mileage. Naamini 1500 itachikamua. Mungu tu atuongoze.
Tomorrow's final race, which is slated for 9:38 a.m., will see Eric Sang having a new guide runner, Eric Kirui, following his usual guide, David Korir, being injured. It will be Kenya's last event at this year's Paralympic Games. Reporting for KBC from Tokyo, Japan, I am Elina Shiveka.
Thank you very much, Shiveka, for that detailed report. Moving on, reigning 1500-meter Olympic champion Faith Kipyegon and 3000-meter steeplechase champion Sofiane El Bakali from Morocco are among the top athletes who have confirmed their participation in the second edition of the Kipkeino Classic Continental Tour, slated for 18th of next month at the Moi International Sports Center, Kasarani. Close to 60 athletes have so far confirmed their participation in the global showpiece.
Yeah, I think we're seeing
All is set for the 12th and final Gold Label Continental Tour, which will be held in Kenya for a second time, with at least 20,000 fans expected to be allowed to attend the event. The co-event will be held on 18th of next month, but will be categorized by discretional and national events, which will be held on Friday 17th same month.
We want to have full lines, like the 5,000 meters, which is going to be discretionary, the 1,500, 800 discretionary. So we need only the 800 meters, we need only 8, 1,500, we need 12, 5,000, we need 15 per event. So those are the areas that we are looking into. Because it's an international event, we have to go by the standards. You that Faith Chepngetich is going to run the 1,500. That is the big one that we are going to have. She has already confirmed to be running there. We have also Helen Obiri, who is also going to run, and many others. Also the Olympians who are there. 1,500 meters will be, we have Emmanuel Korir, who is going to be there.
Kipkeino Classic Continental Tour is vital as athletes participating in the co-events will have a chance of hitting the qualifying marks for next year's World Athletics Championship in Oregon, United States of America. Frederick Moki for Prime Edition.
And Moki's report brings us to the end of the sports news that right here at KBC Primetime Edition. It's a good night from me, Karen Kibet, but I do hand you back to Purity and Tom.
Thank you, Karen. Kongoi.
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 Kongoi sana.
Kongoi sana. But I like that story. That's why I had to go there. So we wrap it up.
We wrap it up.
Remember, tomorrow is Tuesday. So
tomorrow is Tuesday. We are back on air for Prime Edition. And thanks to you for your company and a lot of feedback. And people are watching tonight. Jeff Jerix on Twitter. You are tuned in from Kikuyu. Thank you from Mtuapa. Thanke Shaban said you are also tuned in. And Joe Ngolo. We have to wrap it up. But thank you so much. Let's keep this conversation going, of course, online at KBC Channel 1 News, the hashtag Prime Edition. I'm Purity Museo. Lensa Odingo has been our sign language interpreter tonight. Until tomorrow, it's a good night.
And thank you so much. We trust that the last hour or so was worth your while on the day that the government said it's tracking some 100,000 Kenyans who are yet to receive their second dose of COVID-19. And that excludes me and Purity Museo. Thank you for watching. I'm Mboya. Good night.